All right, hey everybody. We're sitting here with Don Wilson, the next victim in our big hitter interviews. And Don's probably one of the biggest hitter that I know of online, so I'm very happy to have him. He's a busy guy, so as always, I just wanted to show you guys this. You can't see my face, but you can see Don's, so he's prettier than me anyway. That's all good. We've got basically 10 questions for him. Don, we can cover anything else we want as we go. And it's just basically a conversation to get some insight into what big hitters do. And so, why don't we dive right in?
Cool. Let's go.
All right. So, for those that don't know, tell us a bit about yourself, how long you've been at this, and what you do online.
Oh, I don't know how long I've been at it now. Probably like 5 years or so, maybe 4.5, 5 years. Used to be a debt collector. Before that, I was a telemarketer. So basically, anything in terms of sales, I learned how to do the hard way by working way too hard, being really underpaid, and eventually taking those skills into something that made me some good money. So online, I started with Facebook ads successfully. I tried pretty much everything else like that before that. Put up blogs, put up content, do everything wrong a bazillion different times, and just kind of started figuring out how to do it right when the like campaign started to happen well on Facebook. From there, built up lots of huge fan pages. Some of them got hacked and stolen. Some of them did really well. Some of them are still around today that have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of fans. And, I wish organic reach is what it used to be, but it's not. And doing that, I kind of started getting off doing well with CPA offers. And then I kind of found Teespring, started doing well with on-demand markets and products. Then I got banned by Facebook for a while
I remember that.
for a software that wasn't even mine. But it's, a big corporation. You got to go through a lot of hoops. Got back on after I did $1 million launches and stuff like that before. Got banned from Facebook and then stopped doing all that stuff, built Gear Bobo. Now we're doing, massive amounts of numbers every single month selling necklaces and shirts and cool things online. And it's really been a really cool ride. Went from, nothing, selling, being a debt collector to having little Pitbull fan pages to $1 million launches to pretty much losing everything in the middle with lawsuits and building back something really awesome and strong after it.
Very cool, very cool. You know what kills me about you getting banned is there's guys right now that are running Facebook groups that sell cloakers for Facebook, and they are still on Facebook, like without any issue at all. I don't get it at all.
It happens. Well, I think a lot of it was I was just making some big noise,
Yeah,
and that's part of the deal, man. I had $1 million launches, now built something stronger, so I'm not upset about it. I'm good to go now.
that's awesome. All right, so you mentioned Gear Bubble. We all know it, and Facebook Ads Crack too was really probably one of the most popular courses on Facebook ever so far. So, can you wow us with some numbers your company's doing, like units or whatever you want to do?
Oh, we're doing over $1 million a month already, pretty consistently, and still growing. I think just last month we grew 40% in sales. Before that, we grew like 60. So it's really crazy to see where it's going to be, considering every 2 or 3 months we're doubling. So
Right
by
on.
the time Q4 hits here, and the nature of Q4, I feel like we'll probably double like 5 or 6 more times this year alone. So
Wow.
it's really hard to see where it's going to be at the end of the year, especially when Q4 hits and the nature of the business triples anyways.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be really big. It's going to be good. And then we're just going to do our best to keep innovating the entire time, which is obviously going to help a lot too. We've got some cool products and different things along the way.
Cool. Yeah, and I got some ideas for you too. I gave you one.
Yeah,
Those rich, expensive little jewelry pieces that we gotta do. Those will kick ass. Okay. Anyway, so what is the backstory behind Gear Bubble? How'd that come about?
Well, I used to be one of, if not the number one referring affiliate in Teespring, probably the top one, and definitely the biggest influencer from when they started getting started. So that was great. Sold tons of T-shirts, probably millions of units from the people I taught how to do it. And it was really good. A lot of people that didn't make any money before started making their first real money online. You've seen it, Will.
Hmm.
A lot more. Once ecom got hot, it got hot for a reason. It's because people were legitimately making lots of money. It wasn't kind of like some people were really killing it with a CPA offer and then nobody else was doing hardly anything. It's the average person was making some decent money. And Teespring is great, and I owe a lot of my success for the original parts of when Teespring was happening. But I continued to grow into something bigger. I talked to the owner a bazillion times. I couldn't even get an upsell, and really it only takes like a week to code an upsell into a platform. So it's just simple things like that that marketers weren't getting, that I didn't have the skill set probably beforehand to do. And if I wouldn't have got banned, I wouldn't have spent as much time to build this, because it took me like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months before it was even usable, and like $500,000 in development. So it was a very long period of time, and I was doing $1 million launches before that. And to actually put it in a focus, I don't know if I would have built it up, or I wouldn't have put any or as much focus if I didn't already have the time kind of sitting there waiting. So that was a big part of it, was just that was my current situation. I was spending all my time building something I knew the market needed. I knew the people needed. I knew I needed it. Like, I was like, okay, well, I can sell this exact same design, like 4 other things in the same funnel. I'm like, that's I can do a follow-up sequence or 6, 7 people or 6, 7 days. Like, when I was doing things with digital products, you didn't have the luxury of being able to make your money on the front end. Like, when you ran ads, there wasn't a such thing as you could measure money in and money out on just one product. It was, you tried to make some money on the front end. Okay, then when you added the upsell, it broke even. Then you made your money on day 7 in the funnel. That's where all the funnels used to be. So I knew that if we could take those same type of small things and add them into our system, the people that really utilize them can make a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the biggest things I like about Gear Bobo is that you give us the data. So those people that buy, we put them, like, I know I put them right onto my list, and GetResponse is what I use. And now I've got an autoresponder set up in GetResponse, and I can do whatever I want with it. And that's something that other companies don't do. Like, you can send out emails, but you can't program it ahead of time, and you can't send out whatever you want. So I admit I'm guilty. I use Teespring, and I've sent out emails for Gear Bobo on Teespring, but I don't care if they ban me now. They're not going to ban me. I hope, knock on wood.
I still think they're pretty good people over there.
Yeah, no, they are. They're good people. They definitely are. I just wish they had, like, they gave you the data like you do. I think that's huge. That's gigantic. And the upsells as well. That's something I wasn't even doing before. And then I'm like, why aren't I doing upsells on these? That's just dumb. Yeah. Leaving money on the table.
A lot of money on upsells. I consistently get a 5 or a 10% on a well thought out upsell. I get a 10% on just slapping something on there. I get about a 5.
So what's a well thought out upsell?
It just depends. Some things work. Like, for example, Pit Bulls Make Me Happy. You Not So Much is funny. Works on a mug and a shirt. Does not sell at all on jewelry, obviously, because nobody wants a funny, witty piece of jewelry. That's not jewelry. Like, jewelry is like something that's close to your heart, a phrase. So when we have something that says, in a perfect world, every dog has a home, it's good on a mug, and it's still good on a necklace, because it's the same type of buying emotion, like something that connects with the heartstrings. So just like I said, if I just slap something on there, if I put Pit Bulls Make Me Happy, Not So Much on a necklace, it's just not going to sell. But if I do it on a shirt, great. But it just depends. You can test them. Sometimes a necklace will convert a lot better than a shirt. Sometimes a shirt will do better. But you got to kind of know what design you're dealing with there to put the right upsell in place. So if I just kind of slap something on there, usually I can get 5. But if it's just a design that lends itself well to multiple types of products, you can get 10, 12, 13% upsell rate. And that's a big amount of money if you're selling hundreds or thousands of units, for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a good point. Now, here's a question for you. You mentioned you're hitting a million a month. How do you manage all the moving pieces in your company?
I don't know. I don't. We're getting ready to hire a guy that's to be a CTO to get me completely out of the tech part. We've got a lot of it is that I've got an amazing team. And some of the people I pulled over from when I was running Mastermind Marketing LLC, which still runs, still profitable, still does things to where we're doing the information marketing, and I do the promotions and different things. So a lot of the people that I had for this market knew and understood this market. Not a ton of people, but I already had a small team of people and resources and different things that were used to and understood the market, because I've done those $1 million launches and things. So I already had some pretty proven designers that understood that you don't have to put fire on everything to make it convert, which is pretty hard to find. The average designer, just like you need somebody that does T-shirts or anything, what they do for a design when you first hire them versus what they do for you 30 days later, they completely understand how to design specifically for a shirt. So like the guy I have that does my JV pages and different things and design my sales pages for $1 million launches, he knows how to design things to convert well. So I had a lot of different resources when I started it up that helped, but I didn't have a dev team. I didn't even have one single good developer. So a lot of it was along the way was I had some money. I paid some people a lot. Like I paid David Abrams, I think like 10 grand to help me find my first developer. And that's the same guy that basically has built the infrastructure of all of Gear Bobo. Now we've got tons of different people on the dev team, engineers here, senior developers there, front-end developers here. That's why we're bringing on a CTO. And then we've got several designers. I've got one person that manages my entire support team. She's been with me for years and years and years, and she hires lots of people locally in the Philippines. I hire the staff that comes in from the United States. Then she manages it all. I've got an accountant that manages all the financials. So basically, once I get this guy to manage all the dev team, I can focus solely on marketing, scaling, educating the sellers, and kind of being there. I'm always there. Like if somebody emails me, I answer it. And I answer it really fast because there's a lot of things that somebody that's an owner or a founder has to do. And the number one thing you've got to do is you have to keep your finger on the pulse of the market and listen to the people that are helping you grow your business. As soon as you stop listening, it stops growing because you're not adapting to the market. You're not listening to the market. The same thing we talked about the other day. You're like, your mug prices are too high. Like within 12 hours, I changed the mug prices.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
So, you know, that made me a little less money, but at the end of the day, within the next 60 days, I guarantee we're going to see a massive increase in white mugs that are going to make up for it because the market is demanding those different things. So the same thing with Teespring. You know, I like them. The market was demanding an upsell. The market is still demanding their leads. That's why a lot of people went to Shopify because the market demands customization. The market demands the ability to go source things from China. It's part of the business model. I think there's a part for every single platform that currently exists and a really big business model for people that are running a lot of traffic on Facebook ads. I think you should be sourcing. I think you should be going and getting unique products, but we also know the headache that comes with all that. So look for it and keep an open mind to it, but don't build your whole business around any of the one single models and you'll have something really, really strong.
Gotcha.
So that's the same thing with my company now is that a lot of what we did with the dropship integration, different thing is we want to make sure that we're not limited to only just Gear Bobo for growth as well. The same thing that you want to do in your own business.
Yeah, that was a great move. The adding in the drop shipping was awesome. So question 5, we're halfway through and we're at about 12 and a half minutes, so we're on schedule. How would someone go from nothing to 100 to 1,000 to 10,000 per day? What do you think?
Best thing that you can do for that is a mentor. That 10,000 is a really big number. You can hit it, but hitting it consistently, you're going to have somebody that's been there that can teach you the experience and different things, and you're going to need some money for something that large. 100 to 1,000 a day, that's just going and looking at a proven model, like shirts or necklaces and different things, seeing what sold, model after that and go into a different market. That'll get you from 100 to 1,000 a day. Once you kind of hone that system in, you put a production flow to it and say, all right, I know I'm going to get 3 designs a week to work. But if I put it out 10 times more designs, I'm going to get 30 a week. That's going to move me from $100 a day to $1,000 a day. Simple. 10x can be just a production volume. But from 1,000 to 10,000, it's different things. Like different business models run at different infrastructures. You can run a 6-figure business by yourself. You can run a 7-figure business by yourself and you're going to be stressed and strained. You're not running an 8-figure one by yourself. It's impossible. It doesn't work that way. It's a different infrastructure. Just like a 9-figure one won't run without a certain different departmental structure and a culture and different things. So from 100 to 1,000 a day, you find a system that you can 10x by throwing more money at it, more production at it, a bigger team at it, resources. From 1,000 to 10,000, you absolutely must get a mentor that's done that so you can think in different ways. Like Gear Bobo, for example, can do way more than $10,000 a day. But we have 20,000 or 40,000, or right now we have 45,000 sellers almost that run ads all the time.
Oh, yeah, right on.
45,000 versus one individual seller. It's the difference between $1,000 a day or $50,000 or $60,000 a day. They're different structures that scale differently. So, you know, 100 to 1,000, you can do it by a system. Once you go to that next 10x level, though, it's everything that you built on the original one doesn't work. We found that out after we had to rebuild our infrastructure for Gear Bobo. Every single time we added a couple hundred more sales, we had to rebuild the navigation system or rebuild this or that because it worked at 100 sales a day, but it broke massively at 300 or 1,000.
Oh, okay. Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, question 6. Why do you love pit bulls?
They're misunderstood. I don't know, man. It was basically when I first got started, it was the first market I was in. Pitbull page, I had a really, really big one that got hacked. It's now like millions and millions and millions of fans large, and it's just been spammed over a bazillion times. But the reason I have such a big attachment to it is because a couple of my friends had pit bulls. They're really loving dogs, and I used to have to go visit them, or not visit them, go watch them on the weekends when they would go out of town to go see some family. So I got to know the dogs a lot, and when I first started getting success in internet marketing, it was with those pit bull pages because it was all about passion-based niche marketing. Click like if you love pit bulls.
Mm-hmm.
Click like if you love Rottweilers. Click like if you love guns. And that was how simple it was back in what year was that? I don't really remember. But that's kind of what got me started to understand really big scale and really understand advertising and get successful in this market. Plus, I just love the dogs. They're awesome. They're really loyal dogs, loving dogs. They can get kind of mean and aggressive, and I'm probably the exact same way. I'm loyal and loving, and I can also get real mean and aggressive in a good way.
Nice. So, do you have pit bulls?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I travel so much that I can't have any animals.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I love dogs, and I'll be the babysitter of anybody's dog they want, but
Right on. Once you become an old fart, you'll get one.
Yeah, I'll get one then.
Yeah.
I'll stop getting around the world, and I'll get one then.
Cool. All right. So just swinging back to a little product thing. How would you go about testing a product?
Like a necklace?
Yeah, like a necklace.
I'm a little different than most people. I throw a good amount of money at things. I like to get my data bit quick, scale fast, and put a lot of things out there and scale really, really quick once I get a proven model to work. So I like to jumble up a decent amount of interest and kind of go at things with a decent amount of a market size and get my data really, really quick. I may lose a little bit of ROI, but I can bust out a couple hundred sales within 1 or 2 days going at it that way. And I'll find out my winners really, really quick. And then once I do that, I'll look at it more methodically. Because a lot of the times I look at things to where I want my design to work on 2, 3, or 4 items.
Right.
So winning at the gate is just part of it. I know several different necklaces and several different campaigns that scale for months and months and months and months and months. So I try to get my data really, really fast, and then I pull back and say, all right, I'm going to get smart with my ads now. I'm going to put up my the right conversion ones. I'm going to separate things out by age. I'm going to find out what's really, really working. And then I'm spending some time to grow in there. And a lot of it is staying consistent in your markets because data has been king more and more over the last year. And if you have big pixels, big view content pixels, big add to cart pixels, you're going to absolutely destroy somebody that just doesn't have that data.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like playing at the casino. If you go to the $2 blackjack table, you can play all night, but at the end, what do you end up with? Like $5 or something. And then you go to the 25 and then the 50 and then the 100, and then you're thinking, wow, you can do some real damage at those bigger numbers. And you get your data, well, your win or loss quicker. So I think it translates into the testing too. It depends on how fast you want to go.
I love that you used the casino and slot machines for the analogy.
Oh yeah. Well, in a way.
I'm going to scale this slot machine over here. It's working. It's on the left. It's just not converting. I think there was a female over here earlier, 45 to 54.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, all right. So we're gonna move on to question 8. Why do you think people struggle to make money online?
Most of the time, it's analysis paralysis. 9 out of 10 times in today's market. Before, I think a lot of people had to choose what's working. I think people can see people are making money now. They're just not them making money. And it's usually analysis paralysis these days. People can see that people are making money on Gear Bobo. People have seen people making money on Teespring for years. There's been a bazillion different screenshots on Shopify, whether it's trademark infringed products or not. Who knows? But people are making money. I don't think that's a question. So I think that what used to be in internet marketing was, well, I don't even know if this is real. I don't know if this is a scam. Every time I've tried it, it's not working. None of my friends are making money because it's all an MLM. I think that a lot of people see that there are regular people making a lot of money online now. So I think a lot of it is they know it's e-com. People are making good money over there right now, regular people, but they get analysis paralysis. Now, what worked really well when AdsCrack came out was I was really good at teaching people not to do that. It was design, targeting. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That was before retargeting. That was before possibility of scaling to Google, building up this long daddy legs pixel. There's so many different things now, which are all true, all useful, all things you should do as you scale. But too many people, I think, see all of that before they start actually taking action and making winners happen. Mm-hmm. Like, you can make a campaign work with no pixel, no retargeting, no nothing. You're only going to scale so far. And some campaigns that would work with those won't. But at the end of the day, you can still see success with design or targeting. Are you going to scale to 1,000? No. But will you make money online and then hone in your skills after you see success? Yes. So I think there's been so many advancements in Facebook and advertising, and a lot of people are really advanced, that I think the new person that comes in more that hasn't made money online yet is seeing all of it. And instead of not knowing which way to go, they're looking at all of it and they're like, all right, well, I got to go set up this pixel before I can run my third ad. Mm-hmm. And they don't even, they haven't even logged into Audience Insights yet.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's what it is until you're making money, you shouldn't look at 60 feet down. You should train and learn from people at that level. But then after you get the training, your action should be from here to here. Mm-hmm. And then once you master this, you go from here to here. Because I still have a lot of things in my ads I don't do right. I do about here right. And then I might lose a little bit of scaling here and there that some other guy picks it up that has more time, that can run ads a little bit better. I run out of time to even do it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, keep it simple and stay focused. That's absolutely true. All right, we're getting near the tail end. We're a little over 20, but we can close this out strong. All right, so what are 3 traits you see in all successful people?
Oh, it depends on what level of success you're getting at, but they don't take no for an answer. They work harder than everybody else, and they will go look up to people that have already been where they're at, and they will ask questions, aka a mentor, but asking the mentor for help, listening to them and doing it, and seeking out people that do that. Like if you want to make it, like I said, from 1,000 to 10,000 a day, you're not going to do that by running more ads. Mm-hmm. You're going to do that by getting a little bit better knowledge, how to do a better brand, how to build a 7-day deep funnel, how to put an affiliate offer somewhere that you were missing, you know, different thinking. So the 3 successful traits: work ethic, no doubt. And then the other ones, especially the mentor one, depending on what successful level. You can get very successful without mentors, but you will reach a plateau.
Oh, no, I totally agree. We're on the same page. I think when you want to learn, you learn from somebody who's already done it and can help you. That'll speed you up dramatically. Okay, question 10. We kind of cover this, but maybe we can just summarize. What maybe one piece of advice would you like to offer to people who want to do what you do? Maybe not at your level because you're a little bit ahead of everybody else, but maybe at a couple notches below the Don Wilson level. What do you think?
I mean, a lot of it is just work in the system, and when you get something that works, don't run away from it and kind of chase every different shiny object. Focus is a big thing. Work ethic is a big thing that a lot of people have too. And I don't mean work ethic by like how many times am I going to post on Facebook today? That's not work ethic. That's wasting time. So a lot of it is focus and understanding what's making money, what's not. And it's hard to say. There's different levels and different things. Like at a certain level, it has to be investing in your team. At work, like what level here, it's work ethic. And here it's keeping it simple. So like once you're not making money, keeping it simple makes it money. Then it's adding production to that so that you can scale it up. Then it's work ethic to work all night till you get it to where you don't have any more hours left. Then it's build your team. Then it's get mentoring to take your whole team to the next level. And then it's just different levels for different people, and different things are needed along the way.
Yeah, so working in stages.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we hit all 10. I got a ton of good information. I know everybody's going to love this. Is there anything we missed? Anything you wanted to add? Announcement, events coming up, courses, product launches, new things on Gear Bobo? What's going on?
I heard Gear Bobo does well. You should try and use Gear Bobo.
And I totally agree. That's kind of why I've been harping on Gear Bobo to everybody I talk to, because it is
working well. And I mean, honestly, people are doing really, really well. And it's really great because I didn't come in it for money. That's a great byproduct. Came in here to serve and put value in the market and do the things that I wanted, that I also knew that everybody else wanted. So it's being rewarded because we're successful at doing that. So I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest reasons I love Gear Bobo is because of you. Because I know we talked about those mugs that one day, and the next day, like you said, 12 hours later, you're like, hey, everybody, they're this price. And that was awesome. Like, can't do that anywhere else. Nobody else is going to respond. So I think that was great. So, Mr. Wilson, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Your input is invaluable. Thanks for taking time with us today. I know you're very busy. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we close out the call?
No, dude, keep rocking.
Right on. Okay, Don. I appreciate it. I'm going to get this up and running for everybody on my list. Thank you very much.
Cool. Have a good one.
You too.